Prabhu sir, you can. Prabhu sir, can you unmute now once? Yeah, Prabhu sir, I think you are mute.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, start the recording. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Namaste to all. Now, the subject today is Dhyana, which is the seventh anga of Yoga Darshana of the Ashtangas: Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So, the three last steps, the Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, they are together. Dharana is concentration, Deshabandhas Chittasya Dharana, fixing the mind on a particular point. Tatta Pratyayakatanata Dhyanam, the same concentration when it's like a flow, continuous. Dharana is just fixed, but the continuous flow of the mental energy to the object, then it is called Dhyana. And then there is an absorption completely between the object and the subject. It is called Samadhi. Swarupa Sunyameva Samadhi. These are the basic definitions of Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So when there is a meditation to such a deeper extent that there is a complete absorption, you lost yourself in it, then it is called Samadhi. It is not the Samadhi of burying underground dead bodies. It's not that Samadhi. We are talking of yogic Samadhi. So Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi comprise together what is called Samyama. So Patanjali, we have discussed it last time. When you perform these three things together, that means deep concentration, deep meditation, and absorption on any object, that object knowledge will be revealed to you. If you perform that concentration on sun, then the motions of planetary orbits will be understood. If you perform that on the navel, you will understand the physiological phenomena inside the body without cutting. So the siddhis of yogis, high order yogis, they come from the performance of these three things, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, on particular objects. Now today we are not trying to discuss about siddhis. Siddhis exist, Siddha Purushas exist, we all know. They are very famous, like Sai Baba, or Mani Prabhu, or Jnaneshwar, and so on and so forth. They have siddhis. They help people with the help of those siddhis. But today we are talking of meditation, dhyana, for moksha. What is moksha? Moksha is liberation. Liberation from what? Liberation from bondage. Bondage is at various levels. Bondage is at the mental level, at the physical level, at the birth level, at the death level, at various levels. The highest ultimate moksha is not to be born again, remain in complete liberation state. Because once you are born, you will have to suffer all consequences of bondage. We are all suffering. For example, we are suffering. Please mute your mics. We are suffering the corona crisis, or we have suffered poverty, we have suffered so many problems. So liberation from all problems is moksha. Now, there are two dimensions of this matter has to be understood. First is three fundamental entities that exist. First, I exist, Jiva. The Jiva exists, then universe exists, nature, Prakriti. Third is Ishvara, God. Now, these three are the only things which can exist. Nothing else is there. I exist, I cannot say I don't exist. And I cannot say the universe or nature does not exist because I am seeing it, I am experiencing it with my senses, with my mind. Then the third is God, whether the creator, somebody created this universe, somebody is sustaining, somebody is dissolving. So that power of that extraordinary power, which is responsible for creation, sustenance, and dissolution, is called Ishvara or God or Brahman or Shiva, whatever names you give, doesn't matter. Or Allah or Jehovah, whatever you want to call. The names don't matter. Of course, these three things are the ultimate. Now, all philosophical systems are dealing only with these things. The atheistic philosophical systems don't accept God, but they accept the individual and the universe. That is Prakriti and Jiva. Ishvara is not there in atheistic systems. Like Buddhism, Jainism, atheism, agnosticism, skepticism, materialism. These are all the philosophical thoughts where there is no God at all. Because they think the universe has come on its own, the nature has come on its own, it is sustaining on its own, and it dissolves on its own. That means nature itself is God, nature itself is creation, everything is nature itself. Then the individual is there to observe nature or to enjoy or suffer the consequences of its interaction with nature. Now, the different philosophical systems are addressing these three things in different ways. Like Advaita, he says all the three are only one. Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satyam, Jivo, Brahmaiva Napara. There is no universe, it is an illusion. And this individual Jiva is also not there. So what is there means only God is there. Jivo, Brahmaiva Napara. This is Advaita, non-duality. In Dvaita, we have Jiva and Ishvara together. Separately, not merged but separately. And the nature or Prakriti is just a manifestation of Ishvara. Ishvara is there, Jiva is there. God is there, man is there. The universe or nature which you see is just a manifestation or a projection of God only or creation. And it's not separate. Prakriti and Purusha are one and the same according to Dvaita philosophy. The individual will become close to Ishvara, almost merged but not exactly combined, but close. Salokya, Sarupya, and Sayujya Mukti. That is called moksha. In Advaita, moksha is when you have the realization that you are one with Ishvara. Not that you are Ishvara, but only Ishvara exists, nothing else exists. Then the Traita Siddhanta, which is popularly promoted by, say, Arya Samaj and others, Prakriti, Jiva, Ishvara, all three exist. Of course, if you expand Prakriti, then it will go into 24 tattvas, that is Sankhyas, the Panchabhutas, Tanmatras, and Manava, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. So total 24 you can break up the Prakriti. So now in Sankhya there are only two, Prakriti and Purusha. So this Jiva and Ishvara is not there. Jiva or Ishvara one and the same. The Purusha and Prakriti, only two are there. The observer and the observed. The observed universe is nature, Prakriti. The observer is Purusha. So you are Purusha, though you think you are Jiva, you are an individual, but actually you are Purusha. And once you realize that you are Purusha, you are liberated. So I gave you the perspectives of different philosophical systems. Of course, in say in Vaishnavism, it is Vishnu and individual. The yoga is bhakti, finally they merge. In Shaivism, Shiva and individual. Yoga is bhakti yoga and they merge. So Dvaita, all are Dvaitas. All bhakti yoga systems are Dvaita. And yoga is also Dvaita because Ishvara is separately there and I am Jiva is separately there. Now, when you talk of this Dhyana process, again Patanjali talked in the first chapter, which we have covered previously, the different methods. Today's topic is different methods of sadhana or dhyana. So he has talked about various processes and methods. Prachardana vidharanabhyam va pranasya. That is first sutra in that sequence. By pranayama, by holding the breath, it is possible to reach deep meditation and samadhi. I have gone through that processes with our gurus, Swami Silanand Bharti and so on. So pranayama itself in very advanced stages results in kundalini awakening and chakras awakening and finally reaches samadhi. Samadhi can be short or long or many days or many weeks, and can be permanent also, or it can come back also. This is one path, but other paths are also there. He has talked of different paths of meditation or concentration and meditation on different kinds of objects. Like Vishokava Jyotishmati is one sutra. You have a light. Now, light, if you take in many religions and many philosophical and spiritual systems, light is taken as symbol of God. So you meditate on light, which is beyond sorrow. Vishokava Jyotishmati. And other option is you meditate upon your dream experience. Some people got dream. They experienced Venkateshwara Swami appearing in dream, or Shiva, or Mataji. They can meditate on that. Or Vitaraga Vishayam Vachittam. You can meditate upon a personality who is free from attachments and desires. Like a saint, great saint. Like we meditate upon, say, Vyasa, or we meditate upon Ramakrishna Paramahansa, or we meditate upon Sai Baba, or some people meditate upon a particular saint. It could be Jesus, or it could be somebody. It may be real or imaginary. So, but that personality, when you meditate, you will get some of those effects on yourself. Like Buddha, Vivekananda. There are methods how to meditate on Vivekananda himself, or how to meditate on Narayana. In Badri Narayana, Lord Vishnu is in meditation posture. So we meditate upon him. Who is meditating? Is not Vishnu, is Narayana, Badri Narayana. He was a person at that time, he meditated at that spot. So this is Vitaraga Vishayam Vachittam. So, and then finally, surprisingly, he says, Yatha Avivata Dhyanadva. The most important message for today's lecture is you can meditate upon anything. Yatha Abhimata Dhyanadva. Alternatively, you can meditate upon anything which you prefer, which you like. You may like to meditate upon Himalaya, or you may like to meditate upon Ganga. I went to Gangotri, Gaumukh, I meditate upon Ganga, I feel fresh. Or you may meditate upon, say, Shivalinga, which is the indication of Shiva. Linga means indication. It is not itself Shiva, but it's an indication of Shiva. Therefore, it assumes a lot of importance. Or you can meditate upon Vishnu, you can meditate upon Durga, you can meditate upon Lakshmi. Now we'll come to this issue of who are all these objects of meditation. Because all these objects of meditation are coming from Prakriti. And we have talked about Jiva, Ishvara, and Prakriti. So now the forces in Prakriti, the total Prakriti is Moola Prakriti. Moola Prakriti Avyakta, Vyakta, Vyakta Swarupini. Manifest and unmanifest, both forms are there for nature, original nature, Moola Prakriti. Now, in this Prakriti as a whole is called Adi Parashakti, and it has got three major parts for Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti is Saraswati, or Gayatri, Savitri, all three together, and Ichha Shakti is Lakshmi, and Kriya Shakti is Durga. They are not females wearing saris, as you see in temples. Our friends, Muslims and Christians, think all Hindus worship idols, which is not true. Let me clarify, no Hindu worships idols. They are worshipping the powers, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, which are known as Lakshmi, Durga, Saraswati. Saraswati is Jnana Shakti, the power of knowledge. So when you divide total nature into three parts, you have three Shaktis. Ammalagannayamma Muguramma Mula Putamma. The Adi Parashakti is total summation, total nature of Prakriti. And the manifest and the unmanifest both. In the manifest, you have three major parts, and you have many other minor parts. Like the first one, Saraswati, Gayatri, Savitri, three parts. In Sanja, it is Savitri, and chanting mantra is Gayatri, otherwise it is Saraswati. Knowledge of all kinds. Now, similarly, Lakshmi, Ashtalakshmis we talk about. All good things in life. That is victory, Vijaya Lakshmi, children, Santana Lakshmi, money, Dhana Lakshmi, and so on. They are not human beings wearing saris and whose idols are kept. Like for example, if you take money, money is not a human being, but it is depicted as Dhanalakshmi. Similarly, Vijayalakshmi, it is only Shobha, the beauty of victory, beauty of money, beauty of so on and so forth. 8 different types of beauties or great things in life. They are the Ashtalakshmis. And Durga, of course, we have Navadurgas. And then there are many stories in the Puranas, but now let us come to some of the core practices. I gave you the general background. So now in yoga we have practices of meditation, which I will make you do towards the end of this session. One particular practice, where the objective is to calm the mind, just calm the mind to such an extent that your breathing becomes slow and you go deeper and deeper and deeper into yourself, because the divinity or the spiritual reality is inside yourself. It's not outside somewhere. Like Vemana said, without realizing that the Shiva is within yourself, God is within yourself, you go on searching outside. You go to Kashi, you go to Prayag, you do this, you go to so many places and search for God. It's not going to work. That's Kabir also said this. Mai to tere paas, na mandir mein, na masjid mein, mai to tere paas. You are inside. So nihito guhayam parame vyoma. The process of going into yourself is called dhyana in the yogic methods. We have different methods. We will cover one of them or mixture of them at the end of this session. The Om meditation and Soham meditation and so on. Apart from this internal journey of dhyana or meditation, we also have other methods, like you meditate upon Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ishvara or Allah or Jehovah or whatever you call it, Adi Parashakti or Shiva or Narayana. It's all one and the same. Let me be very frank, because all these names are being given to that supreme power which is responsible for creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe, of everything in universe. So that is called Ishvara, Brahman in Sanskrit, Al-Ilah, so combined becomes Allah in Arabic, and Yahweh in Hebrew, which became Yehovah in Christianity, and so on. So like 6 write it very beautifully. Ek Omkar, they'll put a number 1 and Om. One Om. Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, one without a second. So that is the only truth. And all the rest are all kind of descriptions, sub-descriptions, parts, sub-parts of the same. You can give it any name because it is nameless anyway. It cannot be given any description. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Where the mind comes back, mind cannot penetrate. The mind itself is the problem. And words cannot reach, because words are very limited in their capacity in terms of language. But the sub-components of that supreme Om, the ultimate Parabrahman, the sub-components like knowledge is Saraswati, wealth is all types of wealth is Lakshmi. Like this, all sub-components which are 33 minimum and expanded to 3300, 33,000, 33 crores. These are the Devatas, like the Adityas, the Rudras, the Maruts, and the Ashwinis, and so on. In the Ishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga in 11th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, he displays the entire universe as one entity, that is the Vishwarupa of Lord Krishna or Vishnu or Narayana. Now these individual Devatas, I consider them as windows. They are valid to that extent only, not everything. Like knowledge, Saraswati is just knowledge. It is not Kriya Shakti, it is not Ichha Shakti, but it's only Jnana Shakti. If you worship or if you perform meditation on Saraswati, Saraswati Namastubhyam and so on, and there are mantras, some Saraswati Namaha and so on. So what you are doing is you are focusing on the knowledge power only in your meditation or dhyana. But if you carefully examine those slokas or those mantras or those chantings of names, Sahasranam and all that, they also contain in between that Saraswati is Parabrahma Swarupini. How come? because only knowledge, but Parabrahman, the total supreme personality of Godhead, is much bigger than just knowledge. There are so many other things in universe. So what it means is that all these are windows. Like if you take Ganesh, Atharva Sirsha in the Atharva Veda, it is clearly brought out that Ganesh is not just one single Ganesh with an elephant trunk, but it is actually Parabrahman. Tvameva Prachaksham Brahmasi, Tvameva Parabrahma, Tvameva, like this. The Atharva Sirsha goes on. It's very popular in Maharashtra and Pune. The mantras of Ganesh, Ganapati in Atharva Yoga Veda, they are called Atharva Sirsha chapter. There, Ganapati is explained as Parabrahma, as Om. And similarly, if you take Shiva, you may have Shiva Linga or without Linga, you can have formless Shiva, you can have with form Shiva, with hair and this and that. But finally, Shiva is explained as Parabrahman. And Narayana, Vishnu is also explained as Parabrahman. So finally, all these devatas, major devatas are three: Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Brahma is creator, Vishnu is sustainer, and Shiva is the dissolver. Then the three Shaktis also attached to them: Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. Without Jnana Shakti cannot be creation. That is Saraswati and Brahma combination. They are not human beings, husband, wife, all that rubbish. It is just the powers, they are all powers. And Lakshmi is Icha Shakti with Narayana with for sustenance, and Kriya Shakti with Shiva, which is dissolution. So this is the major top level hierarchy. Then if you break them further down, then you have all the small devatas. You have at the bottom up, if you take, you have the village deities, Maisamma, Peddamma, all these are devatas. And if you take Katta Maisamma, a tank bund, we have a Katta Maisamma. Katta means bund, tank bund. So that power itself, which is able to sustain that water as that bind, it is called a divine power. And similarly, Tota Muchalamma and Ganga Nadi is a divine power, because Ganga River, obviously without Ganga River, the whole of North India and East India would have just not been there. So these are all divine powers from bottom up. The Himalayas are also devatas. The Kalidasa describes as Devatatma in the north. So all these small components of universe, of nature, are devatas. All of them, 33 crores are there. And each one is a window to the ultimate, Ek Omkar. So now in the meditation processes, in Dhyana, if you take any religious activity, now we have broad religions which are, we have Hinduism, we have Buddhism, we have Jainism, we have Islam, we have Christianity, we have Judaism, and Sikhism. Now if you broadly examine their procedures of worship or their prayers or their methods of yoga, they all perform Bhakti yoga. Of course, in the case of Buddhism and Jainism, if it is Mahayana, then Buddha himself is considered as God and worshipped like in Japan and so on. If it is that is Hinayana. If it is Mahayana, then in Sri Lanka and all, Buddha is not a god, but is only a guru. And there is a process of meditation, which is yoga totally. Buddha himself practiced very advanced levels of yoga, and that is how Buddhism was born. Now, all these upasanas, they have mantras, they have bijaksharas, and usually it all start with Om. That itself indicates that whatever comes after Om is just an elaboration of a special case or a small window to Om. Om is the main thing, which is Parabrahma. So, like if you say Om Srim Hrim Srim, Kamale Kamalalaye Prasida Prasida Srim Hrim Srim, Mahalakshmi Namah. The city goddess of Mumbai is Mahalakshmi. Now, this is the Mula Mantra of Mahalakshmi, what I chanted to you. So, it starts with Om but goes into Srim, Hrim. So, these Bijaksharas are indicating those powers. They have each those sound has that power. Like Sha is cooling, Ra is heat, and so on. Every alphabet has certain power. And the combination of those alphabets becomes Bijakshara. And combination of many Bijaksharas becomes the mantra. So what they're doing is they're generating concentration, meditation, and even absorption, samadhi, into that particular devata. And it works. How it works, it is a psychological phenomenon. Let us take the example of Hanuman Chalisa. We all know Hanuman. He had a lot of powers. He was having siddhis. His extraordinary physical power is unimaginable. Atulita Baladhamam is the abode of uncomparable physical power. Swarna Shaila Abhadeham, he is like a mountain of gold. And then he is like ocean of knowledge. Jnana Guna Sagara. Jaya Hanuman, Jnana Guna Sagara, Jaya Kapishati Loka Ujara. Now, this kind of visualization of Hanuman by the chanter of Hanuman Chalisa, if you read the whole of Hanuman Chalisa, the visualization will go into his life actions. What all he did, he brought Sanjeevani, he saved Lakshmana, he saw Sita, he extricated information about all the extraordinary things which he did. So a person who is reading, who will read Hanuman Chalisa? Who wants to pray to God Hanuman for his problems to be solved. What are his problems? His problems are, uncertainty, like what will happen in Corona, whether I will live or die, how to survive, or how to get money, or how to get job. Finally, it's all health, happiness, money, and job, and children, and family. This is all it is all. So when the fellow is feeling very shaky and shivery, then he will start chanting Hanuman Chalisa. So what is being depicted there? The opposite of his condition. He is in a weak condition. Their strength is being depicted. Tremendous strength, tremendous achievement. So by getting those thoughts, it slowly those thoughts infuse into himself. So he will start getting transformed. He will also want to behave like Hanuman. He will start put extraordinary efforts. He will jump, he will run, all that he will do. So he is going to solve his problem. I'm just explaining you a possible psychological phenomenon as I understand. I may be incomplete, I may be partly right or partly wrong, whatever it is, but this definitely happens. So all that I am saying is the devta on which you perform upasana, apart from the bijaksharas, the qualities of that devta are also coming into you. Like if you perform prayer or meditation, dhyana on Rama, Sri Rama, Ramaya Namaha, this is a mantra. Ramaya, Ramabhadraya, Ramachandraya, Vedase, Raghunathaya, Nadhaya, Sitaya, Pataye. So Rama's personality as an individual human being, in Ramayana, the first chapter itself, they describe 16 different qualities. He is truthful, he is honest, he is courageous, he is capable, he is powerful, etc. etc. So those qualities of Rama are being imbibed into yourself. So gradually you become partly Rama. That's why our people keep the name itself as Rama. My name is Sri Rama Prabhu. So my mother kept it like that because she was performing upasana on Rama. Similarly, any other devata. Now, it can be Shiva, it can be, so every devata's upasana will have dhyana in it. If you take any Hindu ritual, there is dhyana involved. They will depict a visualization of that devata. You are supposed to concentrate, meditate, and get absorbed in it. Chant the mantra and chant the mantra in a number of times, 108 times or 1008 times, and you are going to get the result. Nobody will take up any religious activity without a result coming. The fact that people are performing these various dhyana, avahana, upachara, shodashopachara, etc., for thousands of years shows they are getting benefit. Now, I just gave you some insights into the devata, upasana, dhyana involved in that. And apart from this, for moksha, these are all not meant for moksha. These are all meant for worldly problems solution. And we cannot dismiss or disown because moksha includes liberation from worldly problems. Moksha includes moksha from corona, moksha from hunger, moksha from poverty, moksha from unemployment. All these are different levels of moksha according to my understanding. We may or may not agree, but final moksha is not to be born again. That is, you get absorbed in Parabrahma. So how to be absorbed in Parabrahma? Now there are many methods. The Vedantic method, the Jnana Yoga Dhyana, is just the opposite of all others. Because in Jnana Yoga or in Advaita type of Jnana Yoga, the rest, the universe is an illusion. It doesn't exist at all. Ajativada is there. It is not there at all. Like in Yoga Vasishtha, Rama asks a question to Vasishtha, from where this universe has come and where it will go into. So the answer Vasishtha gives is, it is like asking, where from the son of a barren woman came, and where is going to go? It doesn't exist. The universe actually doesn't exist according to highest Advaita philosophy of Yoga Vasishtha or Avadhuta Gita or Ashtavakra Samhita or even Shankaracharya's works. The universe doesn't exist. It is just your own projection. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivo Dhutam Yatha Nidraya. Just as in sleep, you see a whole universe in your dream. Does it really exist or not? It exists during that experience of dream. The moment you wake up, it doesn't exist. It is a projection of your own mind. So also, this universe which you see in the waking state is also a projection of your mind. That's what this Dakshinamurti Stotram says. How far it is true or how far it is untrue. Now you see, I'll give you a simple example. Now around 20 people or 25 people are attending my lecture. All 25, 20 people are seeing different realities. They are seeing different universe. They are seeing different truths. No two people will see the same universe, the same truth, because everybody has a different situation in life, different relationships, different identities, different problems, different conditioning. Finally, it is all conditioning. So when it is appearing so different, if you ask what is this universe, the answer which you get will be different from different individuals. Because if you ask an ant, the ant will define this world as something else. A cat will define as something, because cat can see in darkness. You cannot see, I cannot see. It will see a different universe. So everyone sees a different universe. Suppose an extraterrestrial comes to Earth, he sees a different thing, not what we see. So the universe which you see is actually a projection of your mind. It's based on conditioning of the consciousness. So I gave 4 sentences last time of my own. All experience of reality is a conditioning of the consciousness. So the conditioning of the pure consciousness, Atma, when it is conditioned or Vikara is there, then there is a kind of an experience of so-called reality. Because the mind starts seeing in that way. And another conditioning or in a different way sees a different reality. So primarily the conditioning is the problem. So how to uncondition? If you uncondition, that is the process of yoga. Then you are in yourself. Yoga chittavritti nirodha tada drashtu swarupe avasthana vritti sarupe vitara. All the times you are entangled in your own universe of your own making, your make-believe universe created by your own thoughts and by your own deeds, and you are entangled in it like a cobweb, the spider in a cobweb, and you may even be killed by it. But if you can come out of it, if you can uncondition yourself, then the true self consciousness is experienced, and that is the state of yoga. And that true self, what is that true self? Patanjali doesn't talk about it because it has to be experienced. But the Upanishads talk, I am Atma Brahma. This true self is God, is Ishvara, is the universal power supreme. That God which you are talking about is nothing but the self. That's why the 3 things, the self, the universe or nature, and God or Ishvara all merge into one in the Advaita. So even in yoga, there is a close connection with Advaita in that sense. When the thoughts are stopped, the mind is arrested, completely gone, dissolved. Mind is gone, it's not there. Then what is there? Only yourself is there. Even ego is not there. Some people say ego is there. Yes, ego is the first level conditioning of the pure consciousness. That individuality. So I'm talking of the level of pure consciousness behind the individuality. I exist, I exist, I exist. Each one of us feel. But we don't know what is that, but we know that we exist. And if you look at your whole life since childhood, in all the states of existence, you have been experiencing yourself and the universe in a particular way. But you yourself always there. It is not changing according to the universe outside. Just because you became old or you became a director or you became a director general, the self is not changing. You are feeling the same self all through. I became the director general of NIC. Even then, I was the same self which I am today, and which I was even earlier when I was born, when I was in childhood. So the same self is there without changing, but the conditionings are changing. The situations are changing. Name, form, designation, attributes, relationships, all are changing. But the self is not changing. So that self, true self, is pure consciousness. Definitely ego is there, but if you can go deeper than ego, then you are in your own true nature, which is Brahman. I am Atma Brahma. That is the same way of saying Tattvamasi. Same thing is saying as Aham Brahmasmi. I am Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. These are the Mahavakyas, the great sentences which convey a huge amount of knowledge taken out from the Vedas and Upanishads. That is ultimate truth, the statement of the ultimate truth. Now I will explain a particular procedure. You can all perform it along with me. After that, we'll close and it will now the procedure. Let us start immediately. So first, what you have to do is relax completely. You can sit in any posture you like, comfortable. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and watch your thoughts. Close your eyes, relax, watch your thoughts. What thoughts are you getting? Just keep watching. Don't get entrapped and entangled into those thoughts. You may be hearing some sounds or noises. Don't react. Don't get entangled. Don't get trapped. Just observe as if you are unconcerned Sakshi. You're just observing, nothing else. Then you may remember your wife or your husband or your son or daughter or some images come and go. They don't sustain them. Please remember, none of these thoughts or images or sounds or memories will be there for long. They'll come and go. They'll come and go. They'll come and go. Let them come and go. But you don't react. You don't get carried away and you don't force. You don't stop anything. You don't react. You just observe. Passive observation. Now, for those who are clean at heart, like children, small children, no negative emotions will be appearing in these thoughts and images. But for adults who have many issues, they may have quarrels, competitions, or anxieties, and worries, and jealousy, and greed, whatnot. So, those experiences will be coming into the flashes of mind. Like you had a fight today morning, that will be remembered. What you saw in the TV serial yesterday, that will be coming. So many things start coming. But none of them will stick on, they all come and go. Just keep on observing until you become totally relaxed, totally free from all encumbrances. And just here, I want to add one Dharma Yoga meditation process. For those who are getting any repeated images or memories or feelings of emotions like anger, greed, lust, jealousy, you keep observing those thoughts and feelings also passively. And after some time, after many days, every day if you practice this, that particular negative emotion will become weakened adequately. Gradually it will become weakened. When it becomes adequately weakened, suppose anger, you had a fight, that anger will be there. So keep on observing. After a few days, it will become weaker. When it becomes adequately weaker, you push it away and replace it with its opposite. The opposite of anger is love. The opposite of greed is charity. The opposite of jealousy is also generosity. So all the positive emotions, love, etc., can be replacing the negative emotions by yourself. And slowly you will, this positive emotion will neutralize that negative emotion. You will be free from the encumbrance. So finally you will be free. Children will be free immediately because they have no encumbrances. So when you are free from encumbrance, say after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes daily practice, then the second step is to observe your breathing. You start feeling your breath. You are relaxing, you are taking deep breaths automatically, no force. Just feel the breath going in and coming out. No reaction, no thoughts. You feel that your breath is becoming deeper. You are relaxing more and more. All the time you are Milka Singh, but now you are relaxing. You relax, relax, relax. As if you are going to sleep. You are not going to sleep. You are sitting straight. Just feel the breath going in and coming out. Now you will relax so much that you are going to almost sleep. You are going to lie down. Don't lie down. Don't sleep. That means you are fully relaxed. Now the next third step will be to feel the breath associated with a particular mantra. In this case, I am going to teach you only a small mantra. That is, when you breathe in, you imagine so, so. And when you breathe out, you say hum. Just imagine, there is no chanting required. Because that sound is like that. When you breathe out, the sound is like hum. When you breathe in, it is like so. When you continue this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then you feel totally deep, relaxed, and blank. No thoughts, no feelings, nothing, but fully relaxed, pure awareness and deep. You be in that deep state of nothingness for some time. Just be in that state. That is freedom. That's a moksha state. Now, the last stage is to merge yourself into the ultimate, the infinite, eternal, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, what you call God or Ishvara or Allah, whatever name you give. You merge yourself into that. And you produce the sound Om. हिरण्यगर्भादिस्थावरान्तेषु शरीरेषु यदेकं चैतन्यमस्ति तदेवाहमस्मीति दृढज्ञानसिद्धिर्भूयात्. Let me realize that pure consciousness which is there in each and every existence being in this whole universe, that I am one with it. Sajatiya Vijatiya Swagata Veda Rahita Khanda Satchidananda Brahmatma Siddhir. I am one with, I am merged with the Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, the truth, the only truth. Om Parabrahman or Ishvara or Allah or God, I am merged into it. So this kind of realization has to be made through those assertions. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Satya Paramananda Advitiya Brahma Atmanubhava Siddhir Bhuyat Tadhastu. And finally, we close with an assertion for well-being. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Om sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Om sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Om sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That's it. Now we have finished the meditation session. We can have a few question answers. Sita, can we have questions?
Thank you, sir. We are all still in the trance and enjoying the bliss. I'll give a moment for people. So anyone has any questions, you can either unmute yourself, ask the question, or you can type in the question in the chat window. We will take 2 to 3 questions. So we have 10 minutes more, 8 minutes, so we can take in 2 to 3 questions.
Hello, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Can you tell me what's the best time to do the meditation?
Yeah, good question. Now you see sunrise and sunset. These are the 2 points. Now at sunrise, you are supposed to be doing many other things, Sandhya Vandanam, Puja, Japa, whatever prayer, any other prayer, or any other activity. But at the end of that, for example, yoga practice. At the end of yoga practice, after asanas, you perform pranayama, and at the end of all that, you perform meditation.
Thank you.
And also just a continuation to it, what is the ideal duration of the meditation?
It is flexible. I have just shown you the steps, but each step will take more time than what I showed today.
Okay, so ideally half an hour of the time?
Yeah, roughly half an hour, let us say.
Okay, thanks.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, we are able to hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, meeting. How to join the meeting?
Sorry.
Wait, hello?
How to join the meeting?
This meeting actually, the Zoom needs to be installed, sir. Zoom link. And just reach out to me. Going forward, every month I'll send the invite. Currently, did you join through the phone into the invite?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually the link, if you click also, if Zoom is installed, even through the online web also, like, you can enter into the meeting, sir. It is a Zoom invite.
Any other questions on the topic?
Yeah. Any other questions?
Please feel free to pose any doubts or questions or clarifications. We have another 5 minutes.
Sorry, one more question. Can we do the meditation before going to bed?
Well, you see, you'll be getting sleep. So, if your objective is to get sleep, you can do. But then, at the time of sleeping time, because of the food inside the body and weather conditions, you will be feeling heavy and feel like sleeping. So you will not be able to do all the steps of meditation at that time. It's better to do a little earlier. at sunset, a little later to sunset also is okay. Afternoon and all it will be very difficult because it will be very hot, or you will be having food in the stomach. Because when the digestion is going on, you will find it difficult to do any yoga practice, including meditation. Like as I said, meditation or dhyana is a step in the yoga system. Dharana, dhyana, and samadhi after pranayama. By the way, the success in dhyana or meditation will depend upon many factors. It depends upon your body condition, your mind condition, your environment, and your practice of other things like asanas, pranayama, and your diet restrictions. So many factors, and emotional well-being. So it is all dependent on that. If you can achieve success in meditation, dhyana towards samadhi, and you are absorbed completely, then you have reached temporary moksha. Again, you may come back to Vanda, that is a separate issue.
Yeah, there is one
Yeah.
question. Someone has asked, what are some of the benefits, please?
Yes, there are plenty of benefits. The whole of literature is there. Now, through meditation, you can feel happy. Health and happiness are the two fundamental requirements for life. If you are not healthy, you will have to suffer in life. If you are not happy, also you will suffer. So, the happiness is the main objective. Benefit is that. So, to be able to reach a level of happiness, all these processes are there. Like asanas will overcome the laziness, heaviness, and pranayama will overcome the kind of dynamic activity in the mind, rajoguna. So asanas overcome tamoguna, pranayama overcomes rajoguna. And then in sattva-guna, you are going into dhyana and meditation and to self state. So, in fact, if you know the word for health in Hindi, you all know what is that word? Swasthya. Hindi or Sanskrit. That word swasthya, if you analyze, it is coming from the word swastha, being in a state of self, established in yourself. So, to be established in yourself is the healthy condition. So, you are able to perform meditation means you are coming back to yourself. And benefits are plenty. Your high blood pressure will come down, your diabetes will come down, your anger levels will come down, your heart will slow down. All good benefits, plenty of them, both physical, mental, and spiritual. And this is the dhyana or the meditation is the, I would say, the crest jewel of yoga. The final is almost the finally samadhi, which is deep meditation. So that is the ultimate summation, ultimate achievement. Like, you know, if you have joined an organization, when you reach the topmost level, that is ultimate you can reach. Similarly, in yoga, the ultimate you can reach is this dhyana and samadhi. If you reach that, then you have really gone through the whole yoga system. And by the way, all religions also have this. It is not necessary that you follow only the yoga path, because all religions are also yoga only, in one way or the other. Like Buddhism has a lot of yoga meditations, Jainism has in their own variations. And in Bhakti Marga, the Hare Krishna, ISKCON, all these people also have Bhakti type of meditations. In Islam, in Christianity, in Judaism, everywhere they have their own prayers. So-called prayers are nothing but meditations. And so they all go through a similar processes, parallel, analogous procedures, systems, levels, and they get similar results also. Yes.
Prabhu, one more question. Is it required to cleanse oneself, like bathing and all that, before you do meditation?
Yeah, preferably, because unless it is of course impossible, like if you have gone to Himalayas, you may not be able to take bath, but you can still do meditation. But preferably, because you see, if you are gone to sleep and woken up, your body will be heavy and dirty and filthy because throughout the night, all the secretions have come out of the body. So the earlier you take bath, the better it is. Of course, after clearing your bowels, the first thing you should, what is called call of nature, is to run to clear your bowels, then wash your teeth, and then wash it. So, take bath, wash your body. Then after that, sunlight is very important, and so the meditation actually in Sandhya Vandanam it is automatically there. Meditation is there with Gayatri mantra. But let me clarify that this particular type of meditation is yogic procedure, one of the yogic procedures of meditation. But Sandhya Vandanam is also a type of meditation, and so also other pujas or other upasanas or even namaz for Muslims or even prayers for Christians or Buddhists. They are all types of meditation, different versions of meditation. I have already explained in the first part of my lecture. So all are different types of dhyana only.
Sir, I want to keep one opinion, no, sir. As
Yes.
you said, right environment, right diet, and all that. As you said, apart from that, is it not necessary to seek for right guru for meditation?
Yes.
As meditation itself is the nature to go in deep. So, is it not necessary to seek right guru for that?
Yes. It goes without saying, but I presume that you already have your gurus.
Because everybody is meditating on everything. Everybody can meditate on everything. So that's why.
Yeah, you see the number of personalities, number of varieties of human beings is so large. You cannot say only one type for everybody. The flexibility. That's why Patanjali also gave flexibility. Guru is
I have this question. In that many a time you meditate, there is a kind of this inner chatter. So is there any, will that subside with time and consistent practice, or is there any paper trick that you would say?
I'll answer. A lot of noise, yeah. So actually, as I told you, in the very first stage, there are some 4 or 5 stages I told you. So the very first stage, you are observing your chatterbox inside the brain. You are observing. I asked you to observe what is happening. So this thought comes, that thought comes, this, that, and that. All this is what you are calling chatting. Fine. You keep observing, but don't get involved. Don't get party to that. It's like two people fighting. You observe, but if you go and start fighting yourself, then you are also one of the fighters. So without becoming that, you just observe, and gradually that will reduce. It will not go down 100%. Speed will reduce, as one of our good founders of SVSI in Bangalore says. Our life is nothing but speeding up. You drive a very fast car, you run into a train, you do all that, and then you fight with people, you argue, you do so many things, and when you come back, you are slowing down. So until you sleep, the slow down process comes. So inside, the slowing down process has to come. This doesn't happen in one day. It will take a long time. All the steps which I told you, I have told you different levels, different stages, different times also. It may take days, weeks, months. And I hope it is not years. So gradually only the thought processes, chatterbox inside will reduce. As somebody was saying, it is more the noise inside than outside. The chatterbox inside. Outside nobody is talking anything, but inside everything is happening. So the calming down is the main thing, slowing down. So for slowing down only we are doing all this. And breathing control, breathing will help a lot. And let me also clarify that without pranayama or without asanas, if you perform meditation like some people do, Brahma Kumaris or somebody else, they do meditation directly. Dhyana.
Yes.
No asana, no pranayama, no kriya, nothing. Then what will happen, we cannot say, because some people may get sleep instead of, because body is heavy, and they are exhausted, and the moment you start relaxing, they'll go to sleep. Instead of meditation, it will be sleep. So or some people may not be able to calm the mind at all because the breathing is going on rapidly. That is why the Ashtangas are there: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dhyana, Samadhi is the last. So all these Ashtangas will help in achieving that stage.
Sir, basically,
Thank
sir, basically, the environmental force is most important
Yes, yes, definitely.
to implement everything. The environmental force.
So you have to be in a silent zone. You have to sit in a place where there is no disturbance. It can be any place, your terrace or your garden or your wherever, in your own room or wherever it is. You should not be distracted and disturbed. That's the main requirement. So, and there should be some fresh air, and light should be reasonable. If it is too dark, then you may go to sleep. If it is too bright, you cannot even relax. So, and the posture also, Bhagavad Gita also explains Samamka, straight. Most important is straightness. You should not be bending like this or bending backwards like this. Just straight is the main principle. And you can sit in Sukhasana. Right now, I'm sitting in Sukhasana, or you can sit in Padmasana if you want, or you can sit in Vajrasana also. Muslims do it in Vajrasana. Namaz is nothing but yoga and different postures and meditation in Vajrasana. So these are all various options. Flexibility is there. Of course, nothing like being in nature. If you go to Himalayas, or you go to Ganga River in Himalayas, or you go to a lake and you are enjoying yourself, the more faster you reach yourself inside, the more deeper and faster, the more peace you reach, that is the more better it is. Obviously, in the heart of a big junction, traffic junction, you cannot do any meditation or pranayama. It has to be done in an unpolluted place, preferably in natural beauty, with fresh air, and all these conditions are there. So the more you reach those conditions, the better will be the quality of experience, QoE, and better will be success. It's a long process. It's a gradual process. It doesn't happen one day or 1 month or 1 week. It takes its own time, maybe whole lifetime, sometimes more than one lifetime. But gradually, the person will get evolution. Finally, he'll get self-realization. I have talked about the ultimate level also. I've talked about intermediate levels. I've talked about being all levels. I talked.
Yeah, any other questions? Or we can wind up the session. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for joining the session. Thank you, sir, for the wind up.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Bye.